That's exactly how I feel. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017. So I'm confused, and maybe you can help me. I'm trying to figure out what exactly it is that I'm missing. I'm trying to figure out what exactly is it that has people doing things in such a haphazard way. So if you listen to the news, a Wisconsin judge rejected an attempt backed by liberals to allow absentee ballots containing an incomplete witness address to be counted, saying that would disrupt the status quo and cause confusion among voting underway unless, let me get it right. It just has me that much upset. Saying that it would disrupt the status quo and cause confusion with voting underway less than 2 weeks before the election day. The ruling today was a win for the Republican-controlled Wisconsin legislature, which intervened in the lawsuit. The case focused on how much of the address of a witness needs to be included on an absentee ballot certificate in order for the ballot to be counted. League of Women Voters saw a ruling that an address can only be missed when the entire field is blank. So, why would you need? Now, before I go through my diatribe, let me just say this up front. I understand there's some things I talk about that are liberal, there's some things I talk about that are conservative, and then there's some things that just make sense to me. So whether or not you perceive them to be liberal or not liberal, conservative or not conservative, is not my issue, it's yours. Whoever did something part of the way and wanted accepted, like, I don't understand that. Do we let people do their social security number part of the way? Can you sign up for something and give part of your address and get it delivered? Can a person be your play sister and still be family? No. So why would you let somebody put a partial address on, just scribble anything, and just let it go in and be counted to vote? Follow the rules. It's not that hard. If you're taking the time to witness someone voting, I would think that you would take the time to write your address out clearly. My mind goes to, are you faking? Are you just putting it in and it actually wasn't witnessed? I don't know. But the fact that you can ask that question means that you need to put your address in. We need to start being reasonable about some things. Now, taking your ballot, and let me explain, Tuesday, in-person early voting opened up. I think if you go to the library or anywhere where there's a registered legal poll worker there, you should be able to fill out your ballot and turn it in. As long as you fill it out there and they're the witness. I have no problem with that. But if you can just take an envelope, fill it out, say you're who you are, scratch it out, and then witness it with no address on it, how do we ever find you if something's wrong? How do we ever find you if someone says, I didn't do that? Who did that? And then someone can come behind and look up who the witness is and at least start at the address, even if it's a fake address. The fact that the League of Women Voters said you should be able to, if you write anything on the line, it counts. Are you kidding me? Have we dropped that low in expectation in voting? Or do you want every vote to count and you can just stack the box with whoever you want to win? Because the problem with that is that you're opening it up for Republicans to stack the deck and just pile in whatever they want, whoever they want. And then pretend like, hey, you got to count it. It counts. Dead grandmothers, sick cousins, hospitalized sisters and brothers. Like, well, where does it end? Where does it end? I don't understand that, because if it's absentee, it needs to come from you. But we have to verify that it's absentee. That's why the law says you have to request it. We don't just send you a ballot, because anybody can intercept that ballot, pretend that they're you, send it back in, and you will have thought you'll show up on election day to vote, and they'll tell you you already voted. Because they update them and they bring them to the polling site. So they know who already voted. That's why there's a gap between the end of voting early in person and the actual election day. So they can determine who voted, remove their names, or show that they've already voted. So if somebody shows up and pretends to be them, or if you show up and have an ID card and it's actually you and you didn't vote, they know somebody took your vote. Now, the issue with that is if I believe I have it correctly, they issue a provisional ballot. How exactly are you going to figure out whether or not the provisional ballot is right? Because usually there's so many votes that those provisional ballots aren't going to put a dent in the number of votes that the person won by. We can only hope. But once again, here we are, election day, and people are trying to do things on both sides to stop the vote, to rig the vote. Hillary Clinton's already saying if Republicans win, they stole it. How? Republicans are already saying if Democrats win, they stole it. How? But we have to make sure that we have a system that's fair, that's equitable, and does not give anybody an upper chance to win. That it has to be fair and it has to be equitable. Otherwise, I have decided if this election has as much garbage in it as the last one had, I've made a decision. I quit.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.